Okay. So, yeah, good morning, everyone. So, hope everyone has practiced yesterday's assignments and you guys are clear. Okay. Yeah, let me open this up. Mhm. Yeah. Okay, fine. Yeah, somehow I was able to open the notes. Fine. The previous sessions I completed this portion. Methods, variables, classes, objects, constructors, and this keyword. Now let's go with the other concepts like overloading, inheritance, overriding, etc. Okay. And before that, I can cover few more things, guys. Okay. Before this overloading, inheritance, overriding, I can cover one more thing. Let me try that out. So let me open the Eclipse IDE. Yeah. Hi, Rahim. Good morning. Yeah. Good morning, Rahim. Yeah. Fine. So Rahim will talk into the end of the meeting. Okay. More. Fine. I'm launching the Eclipse IDE. Fine. I'll create a new package here. Don't worry about packages. I've not covered it. Fine. Anyhow, like here I'll say static demo. Static demo. Okay. Small demo about static keyword I'll tell you here. Okay. For that, again, we need the same classes that we created yesterday. These two classes, no, constructor and all, I'll take it. Okay, so here we have two classes. One of the class we have created is the car class, right? Okay, this is a different one. Let me take the different one. 1 minute, guys. This is not the right one I want. I'll just take the latest one from here, this keyword one. This one will have the latest code. Fine. I'll open the car class. You see here we have a constructor, and constructor, we are using the constructor to simplify the process of initializing the variables, right? So we are assigning the parameters to this class global variable so that other methods in the class can access. And along with that, we have another class, that is demo class, where we are actually creating the objects. While creating the objects itself, the constructor is being called. Okay, and we are using the object reference. We are calling these methods. Okay, that's what we have done so far. So fine. So now there is one more thing I'm going to cover. I'm going to introduce one more variable, that is int wheels. Int wheels, and I would like to put the wheels here. Here also int wheels, I'll say. One more extra variable I'm creating, that is wheels. Okay, this dot wheels is equal to wheels. Okay, this is a constructor, and this dot wheels is equal to wheels. Okay, fine. Then here errors will come. You see, in the constructor calling statement, we are getting the errors. So here I need to pass what? Yes, you can type in the chat box, guys. Okay. Argument, wheels argument I have to pass. How many wheels a car will have generally? This particular, Honda Amaze car will have how many wheels basically in real world? 5 wheels. Yeah. How many wheels that the car will generally have? 4 wheels, right? Don't count the spare wheel, okay? So whatever generally the car, will have to run and all. Generally 4 wheels, right? 4 is the number, right? Fine. Then what about this Swift VDI car? How many wheels does it have when compared to Honda Amaze and all? Will have again 4 wheels. This also has 4 wheels. What about Hyundai i20? It also will have 4 wheels. Same number of wheels. I gave 4. And here coming to the car details, where I'm printing the car details, I'll add one more print statement saying number of wheels of the car plus wheels, I'll say. Okay, this global variable I'll try to print it out. Okay, to this global variable we have assigned the constructor parameter. So while calling the constructor here, the value is being passed here. Okay, that value we are printing here. Now all good. Now run the code. Now along with the other details, this time wheels also will be printed in the output. You see, Honda Amaze car details started, stopped, Honda Amaze, all the Honda details. At the end, you see number of wheels of the car, 4. Swift VDI started stopped, and Swift VDI car details and number of wheels of the car 4. I-20 started stopped, Hyundai I-20 details, number of wheels of the car 4. So what's happening here, I'll tell you. Let's go back to the computer memory allocations and all. Let's say this is a computer memory somehow. And here I created how many objects? How many objects are created here? How many objects are there? Total 3 objects. Yes, Rahim, you are right. 3 objects. 3 objects. So in the computer memory, object will be reserved for, you see, this memory will be reserved for the first object. First object, object 1. Similarly, this memory will be reserved for object 2, right? And this memory will be reserved for, let's say, 3 objects, right? So the total 3 I'm saying, okay? In the computer memory, so some 3 memory reservations are done for different objects like this. Fine. Now, how to refer to this object? How to refer to this first object? Because this object will have some memory address like this. We cannot remember such kind of address, right? Like a phone number, we cannot remember. We have to attach a name to the phone number. Similarly, to this memory address also, we have to attach a name. In this case, what is the name for the first object? Object reference. This is called as object reference, guys. That is HAMZ. Okay. Object reference. With the help of object reference, we are referring to the first object. HAMZ. Okay. And what about the second object? It will also have some memory address that we cannot remember. So we have to take the help of some object reference. What is object reference in this second object case? What is object reference in the second object case? Yes. MS VDI. MSVDI. Right. Everyone type your answers in the chat box. That will make the session interactive. And what about the third object? Third object. HI20. Right. Third object is HI20. Okay. HAMZ, MSVDI, and HI20. Okay. And here, we while creating the object itself, we have passed the arguments, right? While creating the objects, we have called the constructor. And while calling the constructor, this is a constructor calling statement, and constructor has been called. This Honda went to company, and this Amaze went to model, like that. And initialization also happened. These parameters got assigned to the class variables. I differentiated these parameters of this particular constructor with the class variables or global class variables with the help of this keyword. This means the global class variable. Okay, whereas without this means parameter. Even though they have the same name, I have separated or segregated by using this keyword because the class variables and parameters of the constructor have the same name. So this will become the class variable and this will become the parameter. If you double click here, you see, when I double click here on the company, this is getting highlighted. See, when I double click on this side, parameter is getting highlighted. Okay, that means this is a parameter. Whatever the value this parameter is receiving, we have assigned to the class variable. All the initialization part is over. Whatever the values I passed here got initialized. And now using this object reference, we are calling these methods like start car, stop car, car details, etc., etc. Okay. Start car, stop car, car details. So when I do that, all the details are getting printed in the output console. Okay, for that particular car and all. Right? Fine. Now the initialization happened in such a way that for the first one, Honda Amaze 9,14.12 Gray 4. So in the object 1 memory, what is being stored? Company is equal to Honda. Model is equal to Maze. Then price is equal to 9 lakhs in Indian rupees. Then mileage is equal to 14.12. Then what else? Wheels. Wheels, right? I think that's the only thing left. Color. Sorry, color. Color gray. Wheels is equal to 4. Okay, wheels is equal to 4. These were things that are stored in the object 1. What about the object 2? What are the details that are stored in the object 2? Maruti Swift VDI 8 lakhs 24.77 red and 4. Company is equal to Maruti. Model is equal to Swift VDI. Model of the car. Price 8 lakhs in Indian rupees. Mileage 24.77. Color red color. And number of wheels is equal to 4. Right? These are the details that are stored in the object 2 memory. The second object. Now for third object, Hyundai i20, 12 lakhs, 12.34 is the mileage and white color and number of wheels 4. So here company is equal to Hyundai company. Model is equal to i20 model. Price is equal to 12 lakhs. Mileage is equal to 12.34. Color white color. Wheels is equal to 4. Now observe these guys. Yeah, Abhi, there is something that I'm heading to that you'll understand today. Okay. The reason I'm teaching the same thing is there is something I'm teaching now. Just focus on this now. Observe this, guys. Observe these 3 objects. This company is Honda. Here company is Maruti. Company is Hyundai. Company is different for different objects or not? Company is different for different objects or not? Yes or no? What about model? Is the model changing for every object? Is the model changing for every object here? Yes. What about price? Price different for every model? For every car? Yes. Mileage? Yes. Color? Gray color, red color, white color? Yes. But what about wheels? What about wheels? Is it same? It's same for every object. Are we wasting the memory or not? Do we have to store wheels in 3 places? Is that a good idea? If it is same for every object, do we have to store the wheels in every object? There will be 100 objects tomorrow. There will be 100 objects tomorrow. In every 100 object, do we have to store the wheels is equal to 4 everywhere? That's not a good idea, right? These things are varying from object to object. So we can store in the object memory. Company, model, price, mileage, color. All these things we can store in the object memory because the details of all these things in object 1 are different from the details of these things in the object 2 and details of this thing in the object 3. They are varying. So it's okay to store this kind of stuff in the object memory. That's fine. Things which are changing are specific to the object, we can store in the object memory. But wheels is not something like that, which is different for different objects. It's same for every object. We should not be storing this in the object memory. We should not be storing wheels in the object memory. Yes, wheels are constant for every object. So wheels should not be stored in the every object because it will waste the memory. Okay, it will waste the memory. Then what is the solution? The solution here is I'll make the wheels as something like static. Just understand here. A new keyword is being introduced now in this aspect. What is this? Static. Everyone type in the chat box. I want everyone to type in the chat box static keyword. Static. Everyone type static. The main focus point of this particular explanation is static. Everyone type static in the chat box. So, wheels static. right? Remaining all no need to be static because they are varying from one object to another object. But wheels need to be static because it's common one, common for every object. So instead of storing this in the common memory, the moment I make it static, what will happen? It will belong to the, instead of object memory, these wheels now will belong to the a common memory known as class memory, type class memory. Something which is static will belong to which memory? Object memory or class memory? Class memory. Everyone type class memory. When I make, this is very important concept, guys. Okay, focus on this. The moment when I put a static before a variable, it belongs to the which memory? Object memory or class memory? Class memory, not object memory. All these things will belong to the object memory once I initialize for a particular object. But the static variable will belong to the class memory. Okay. So we are removing this from the object memory to the class memory and moving it to the class memory because I made it static. The moment I made it static, so it will be, so here itself, I'll say static int wheels is equal to 4. I'll simply say static int wheels is equal to 4 here itself. So now what will happen is, let's say this is the object memories and all. Now there's one more thing. I'll just reduce the size a bit. Okay, it's on the top. Okay, fine. So I'll just create some class memory here. This is, let's say this is a class memory. Okay. Which class in the computer memory itself, this is a class memory. So which class here we have car class. Okay. I'll simply write class memory or car memory in this case. You can also call it as, you can also call it as common memory or static memory. There are different terms to it. Type all these things. Type all these things, guys. Okay. Different names for the class memory. You just type it. Class, I can either call it as a class memory or common memory or static memory. Type three things: class memory, comma, common memory, comma, static memory. I want everyone to type. Yes. Suren, you're right. Class memory, common memory, static memory. Everything is same. Okay. So wheels need to be moved to the class memory, which is nothing but a common and static memory. Okay. The moment I put static keyword before this variable will store the data in a class memory, that is common or static memory. Okay. So wheels will not be stored in every object anymore. It will be removed from this object. Okay. You can see in the diagram, I am just crossing it out. Okay. Wheels now move to which memory? Common memory, which is a static memory. So here in this case, it is a car memory, car class, right? So car memory. Okay. In this example, class memory, common memory, static memory. Okay. You can call it anything. Because why? Because it is common. If I create 100 objects tomorrow, in every object, I cannot store this same wheels is equal to 4. I am wasting the memory. So if I put static, right, this will belong to the class memory. No more object memory. So here, do I need to initialize the wheels anymore? I have to initialize the wheels for the object, right? Generally, these variables I am initializing for the particular object. Do I have to initialize the wheels for this object anymore? No. I have to remove this, right? This line I have to remove. When I am removing this, is there any need for the parameter? No, I have to remove this parameter. I have to remove this parameter. Okay, then do I have to pass this? No, I don't have to pass the argument also. Okay, yeah. So it is a common memory now. Okay, it is a common memory or class memory. So fine. So let's say I have not initialized the wheels is equal to 4 here. Let's say static int wheels is only there. Then I have to initialize this. How to initialize this? How to initialize this? If I am not initialized here, how can I initialize that? Here itself. I have to write. Only one time you can initialize, guys. You don't have to initialize this multiple times. You can initialize only one time. Okay. How means car dot wheels is equal to 4. Done. Car dot wheels is equal to 4. I don't have to use object reference. Earlier, when I have initialized this object related all these variables, right? Company model, I've used object HAMZ dot company because they are object related. HAMZ dot model object related. Okay. HAMZ dot price, HAM dot mileage is equal to something. HAM dot color. Here MSVDI dot company, MSVDI dot model, MSVDI dot price, MSVDI dot mileage, MSVDI dot color. Like that I initialized here. What about here? HI20 dot company, model, price, mileage, color. Okay. But for wheels, I should not be doing that because this doesn't belong to the object memory. If something is related to object memory, how to initialize? With the help of object reference. But if something is not related to object memory, if it is related to class memory, then with the help of what I have to initialize? With the help of class name. Yes, instead of object reference, we are using the class, right, everyone. Okay. Class we are using to initialize. Now let's see what will happen. Run this and see what will happen. Are we getting the same output? Number of wheels of the car after initializing the wheels with the class, with the help of class. You see car dot wheels. Instead of HAMZ dot wheels, I am saying car dot wheels. That's fine. Only one time it is required. Either you can initialize like this or here itself you put 4. Anything is fine. Okay. Here static int wheels is equal to 4 is also fine. Or if you want to initialize from this side, if in same class, then class name also, yes, if it in same class, this is not required at all. If I comment it out, if I don't want to do it here, then here itself I'll say 4. Then I don't have to access it. Okay. But this knowledge is required. Tomorrow, if you want to access something outside the class, then if it is static, then how to access? That is required. Okay. I'll explain more. I'll get into. Can you please tell me this keyword? Which keyword? Static keyword? Pawan? Pawan, are you asking about the static keyword? This keyword. Okay, this keyword. So this keyword is very simple, Pawan. Just observe this. If why we need this keyword here is, here we have class variables and here we have parameters. Do they have the same name or not? Pawan, you answer me.
Yes, sir.
The class variables have the same name and constructor parameter also has the same name. If I don't put this here, what is the problem? Company is equal to company I'm writing. What is the problem here, Pawan? So if I double click on this company, it is referring to parameter. If I double click on the company, it's also referring to the same parameter. So I'm assigning the parameter to parameter. But I thought like this side is parameter, this side is class variable. But that's not happening. Why? Because they have the same name, right? So how to differentiate the class variables from these parameters without compromising the readability? If I make it C, I can solve this problem. That is one way. Company is equal to C. Now it's solved because class variable having different name and parameter having a different name. But is this readable?
Yes, sir.
C is readable. Can you understand by looking at C what is
No.
C? No, right?
No, sir. Yes.
It has to be company. Then I can read it properly. I can understand this is a company. Now, but readability is compromised, so I don't want to replace this company with shortcuts like C and all those stuff. So I'm sticking with company only. But again, the same problem is coming where I'm assigning the parameter to parameter. Then how to differentiate without compromising the readability of this particular code where I put short forms for these names and all? If I want to go with the same names, having the same readability, but still I want to differentiate the class variables with the constructor parameters, what I have to do?
This keyword.
This keyword, if I use here, this will become a class variable. This will become a parameter now. You see, when I double click on this dot company, what is getting highlighted? Class variable. Like double click on this company, parameter. Now you understand why I have put this keyword? Okay.
For readability purpose, we'll use this keyword, sir.
For what?
For readability purpose, we are using this keyword.
Readability improvement, and at same time to differentiate if the class variables and parameters have the same names, then to differentiate the class variables from the parameters, we'll use that.
Okay, sir. Got it.
So
Thank
when
you,
you
sir.
say this means this belong to the class, this means this belong to the class. That is the meaning.
Okay, sir.
Okay, this variable belong to the class. Okay, that is the
Okay,
meaning
sir.
of the this related. Okay, this class related variable. That's the meaning. Okay, internally.
Thank you,
Fine.
sir.
Now, so either you have to
Aaron,
say,
one doubt is
yeah,
that means we can add the value in two ways, right? In static int wheels in that class as a global variable, as well as if we in it we can
yeah, we can do
call
both
the
things. Here itself, we
yeah.
can say static
Okay.
int wheels is equal to 4, or we can from other class, if you want to initialize it, we can say with the help of class name, we have to access that. Okay. Whether it is a variable or method which is static, we can access them with the class name. If it is not static, we have to access with the help of object reference. That's the main thing you have to understand. Okay.
That is user choice, right?
That is user choice. Definitely, that's a user
Yeah.
choice. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Okay. Rahim is asking me when the method doesn't mention with void keyword, what will it return? This is not a method, Rahim. It's a constructor. Okay. You are asking about this particular thing only, right, Rahim? If I am right. This highlighted one. So this is not a method. This is a constructor. Okay. It looks similar to a method. For example, this is a method. Okay. It has a return type and it has a different name. Okay. But this is a constructor, which constructors generally don't have a return type, and the name of the constructor should be same as the name of the class. Okay. Name of the constructor should be same as the name of the class. So constructors will not have return. Okay, that's the thing. Fine. Now I'll explain few more things, guys. Okay, regarding the static thing only, I'll explain few more things. So this one, I'll just keep it for your reference later. So static thing, it's not like class and other thing, other class demo, I'll say. Let's say static again or something, I'll write. All this code I'll share, okay? Then, so right click, new. I'm just creating some class, say class one. Okay. In the class one, I'm creating two variables. First variable is int a is equal to int a otherwise. Second variable is static int b. Okay. One is non-static variable, other one is what? Static variable. So when I not put static here, both are global variables or not, guys? Are they inside the method or outside the method, these variables? Tell me, guys. Are these variables inside the method or outside the method? Outside. So these are global variables or local variables? If they're outside the method, definitely they are global variables, right? They are global variables. These variables are outside the method. So they are global variables. If I declare some variables inside the method, they are called as local variables. But these are global variables. Okay. But these are two different type of global variables. First one is an instance variable. Instance global variable. Understand this. What about the second one? It is a static global variable. Is there a difference? The global variables also we have two types. One is instance, means object related. Instance is an other name for object, guys. Type instance in the chat box. Everyone type instance so that you guys will remember. Instance, everyone type instance. Instance is other name for object. When you say instance means it's related to object. Okay, this will be the value of this particular variable will be stored in the object memory. That's what is instance means. Whenever you assign some value to this variable, the value of this variable will store in the object memory, instance memory or object memory. Okay, both are same. Static means common static class memory, right? Class memory. Yes, static belongs to class, instance belongs to object. Right, correct. Fine. These both are global variables, and one is the instance variable, other one is a static variable. Now I am creating some methods also. Public void sample one. I'll simply write down system.out.println inside sample one. then public static void sample2. Then system.out.println inside sample2. Okay. So fine. So I created one class. In that, one variable is a instance variable, other variable is a static variable. Similarly, I created two methods. In that, one method is a instance method. What is this method? This is instance method. Because it doesn't have static keyword, means this belongs to which memory? Object memory. What about this method? It is a static keyword is there. It is nothing but a static method. What is this method? What is this method, guys? Static method. It belongs to the class memory. It belongs to the class memory. Okay. Not only variable, guys. Not only variable can be static, but a method also can be static. Method also can be static, guys. Okay. Type everyone in the chat box. Method also can be static. Everyone type in the chat box. Method also can be static. Not only variable, but method also can be static. Right. That one you have to remember. Yes, main method is also static, right? So if you remember, right, main method when we created, it was static. Okay. So fine, that's correct. So let's create another class. I'll just create a demo class. And I'll drag this side. Okay. Now you have this class. Now, in this, I'll create some main method or something. Yeah. Understand this, guys. So now in this main method, if I have to access, if I have to initialize this particular variable, instance global variable of this particular class, what I have to do, guys? Tell me what I have to do first. Yes. I have to create an object, right? I have to create an object. Nagveni will see that later, okay? Your question I understood, but let's see that later, okay? Things will come in place, don't worry. So for now, in order to access this, in order to initialize this particular variable of this particular class, instance variable of this class, here what I have to do? I have to create object, right? After creating object only, I can access this variable, right? And then initialize it. You have to create the object. Okay? Or if I have to call this method, instance method, if I have to call this instance method of this class, what I have to do? For calling this instance method of this particular class from outside the class, what I have to do? Object. With the help of object reference, I have to create an object. How to create an object? Using which keyword I have to create an object? Using which keyword I have to create the object? New keyword. Right. I'll say new. New. And yes, new keyword. And the class name, that is class 1. Right. Like this, we'll create an object. Like this, we create an object. And here, this is a constructor calling statement. Is there any constructor here? In this particular class, is there any constructor here? Visible constructor? No, visible constructor is not there, but hidden default empty constructor is there, right? For every class, hidden empty constructor will be there. So hence, it's not throwing any error. It's not giving any error because inside this class, there is a hidden empty constructor maintained by Java internally. Okay. Even though constructor is being called, there is no constructor here, but hidden empty constructor is there. So no issues. So here I'll just give some name C1 as the object reference. This is the object reference. And I have to declare this object reference with which type, which data type or which type? Same class name. So this class name I have to declare. Like this I have to declare. Class 1, C1 is equal to class 1. Like that I have to declare. Now, how to initialize this variable now? With the help of what I have to initialize this variable after creating this object? C1. C1 is what? C1 is nothing but the object reference, right? I have to take this help of the C1 and write down like this. C1 dot, I got the variable A, which is the instance variable. Am I getting B? I'm also getting B here, but it's not a correct approach. We should not be accessing B here, okay? I have to access only A. A is equal to, let's say 5 I'll say, okay? A, 5. 5 got initialized. 5 got initialized, guys. Okay.
Sir,
Now,
1 minute, sir. Why in previous clause we called as car.a? Why here class 1 C1 new instance? That is also global variable only, right?
fine. Repeat your question again.
In
Why?
previous example, we called that variable as car.a if it is a global instance.
No. When I put wheels, right? For wheels only I call
Yeah,
it.
car.wheels. Yeah,
Car
car.wheels.
dot wheels. Why? Because car dot wheels was static.
Okay.
It's
Only
not
for
an
static
instance.
variable, we can call it as car.wheels.
Yes. I
Okay. For
explained
other
here, right?
variables?
You
Yeah, for
see,
other variables?
all these variables are instance variables. Okay, instance means related to object. Okay,
Okay.
we
Okay.
have to use object reference to call these variables. Okay,
Okay.
but coming to the wheels, I made it static because wheels is common for every object. I should not be wasting the memory of every object, so I made it static. The moment I
Okay.
make it static, it will move to which memory? Class memory.
Class memory.
So using what I have to access this? If it is class
Class
memory,
name.
class. That's what. Simple.
Okay.
Got it right? Now here,
Yes.
this A is not a class memory thing. It's an instance. Instance means object related. So I have to use object reference to access it, right? Now what about B? If I have to initialize the variable B, does it belong to object memory or class memory? Class memory, right? It belong to class memory. So what I have to use to initialize it? Class name I have to use, right? I have to use a class name. So what is the class name? Class 1. Class 1 dot, sorry, class 1 dot B is equal to 4. This is how we have to access. Fine, that's good. I'll print it out. I would like to print it out. Okay, system.out.println. I want to print this variable A. So how to print it? Using the object reference, have to access every time. Whether you want to initialize or whether you want to print the same thing. C1 dot A. Like this, I have to print. Yeah, system.out.println class 1 dot B. Whenever you are referring to A, object reference dot A. Whenever you are referring to B, class name dot B. Okay. Clear, guys? So far clear with the variables, instance variables and static variables, how to access them? Clear. I shall come to that. Okay, give me some time. I shall come back to that. But coming to the methods also, there is an instance method and static method. For example, outside this particular class, if I have to call the instance method which is related to object, what I have to use to call this object? Object reference only, right? I have to use object reference. So if I have to call this sample1, if I have to use sample1, C1 dot sample1, I have to call. But what about sample2? It belongs to static memory. It belongs to static memory, common memory kind of stuff. So if I have to access that, class name, right? Okay, we have to access with the help of class name. Class1 dot sample2. This is a way of calling the static method. Okay, able to understand, guys? This part is also important. The static keyword is very useful for us. Sometimes what we feel is that why to create an object in these situations when during frameworks it will come, guys. Okay, again this concept will come in frameworks. Why? Because you see in frameworks, what is the easiest way to create an object, or by making that particular method static and calling that with the help of class name is easy, or creating an object and using the object reference calling that particular method is easy? Which one is easy? Out of these two, which one is easy, guys? Calling with object reference or calling with class name? Class name is easy, right? Sometimes for our convenience, what we do is we make that particular method as static inside the class, and directly we don't have to create object anymore. We don't have to create the object anymore. By directly using the class name, we'll access the object, the method inside the class. That is the easiest way, right? So we in real time we use something like that. Okay, not every time we have to create an object. Okay, we'll create the object, that's for sure. But there may be some situations we feel like, okay, if we make all these methods static inside the class, we can directly access that method with the help of class name. That's kind of easy, we feel like. So in real time in frameworks, we use the static keyword here and there for that purpose. Okay.
Sir, one doubt is there, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, if you make static also, then also we can make it like if a method is there, like line number 16. Okay.
Yeah.
Here, like you are given the void, we can make it int also, right? Public static int.
Yeah, there's no difference in that. Methods are methods only. Okay, that difference is not there. Okay. So here you can make it int. The static methods also can return anything. The same properties are there. No changes. Only the thing is this instance methods with the help of object reference you have to call. Static methods with the help of class you have to call. That's the only difference. Remaining all are same. Okay. Is that clear?
One doubt, and here the main method is also static, right?
Yes.
So can we call another program's main method here, or using that class
The
name?
purpose of the main method is completely different. It's not meant for calling from other classes. Okay.
Okay.
So who can call the
Okay.
main method? That is the question. Okay. You can ask me
Hmm.
in
Okay.
Java, who can call the call method? Who is calling the call main method? What's the answer? What's the answer?
Okay.
Guys?
Okay. Understood. Yeah.
JVM.
Java version.
Okay. Yeah. Only JVM can call the main method. Only JVM can call the main method. Okay. But how JVM can call the main method? Why main method is provided as static keyword? Why there is a thing like, you see, when you create a main method, what is the syntax of the main method, guys? Public, static, void, main, string, args, like this will create the main method, right? So why the main method is specified with static keyword? Can anyone know that? You see, this particular main method will be created inside a class. Okay. Okay, this main method will be generally be created outside inside a class, and JVM is part of the inside the class or outside the class generally. JVM need to run this program, but JVM is something which is outside the class. So JVM want to run this program from where the program execution starts generally. Generally, when JVM has to run this code, from where the program execution has to start, main method. So JVM will search for which method? JVM will search for which method? Main method to run this program. Okay. So JVM, if it has to call this main method, either it has to create an object for this class, that is one way, or it has to make this main method static so that with the help of class name, it can call this method. These two ways, you are clear now? In order to call a method inside a class, yeah, and I'll come to that later. Okay, I'll explain. For JVM to call this particular method, there are two ways. What are the two ways, guys? What are the two ways? One is to create an object for the class and using the object reference, call this method. Okay, or if we make this particular method static, JVM can call this method with the help of class name or not? Yes, right? These two ways are there. So, but before any execution starts, will there be any objects created for the class? Before any execution, JVM is something that which is outside the class, and before any program executes, will there be any objects for any classes created already before running the programs? Is it possible to create objects for the class before running any program? Without running programs, can we create objects? Yes or no? Is it possible to create objects without running programs? Not possible, right? So what technique the JVM is using is, JVM has made the Java syntax in such a way that the main method, if it is static type, JVM will load this particular class into the some memory. JVM will load this particular class into the memory, and since this main method is of static type, with the help of class name, JVM will call this method. That's how JVM will run this program. JVM is nothing but Java is running the program or JVM is running the program. You can understand. Okay. Okay. Able to understand, guys, why main method is static? Who can call the main method? Only JVM can call the main method. And there's one more thing here to note it down. One more thing. Static, why main method is static, you understood. Because JVM, the only way left out for JVM to call this method is via the class, because JVM cannot create objects. So JVM simply will load this class into the memory and then will run this main method. Call this main method with the help of class. That's one thing, static. Then why it is void? Can you change it to int or something, main method? It's not possible to change it to int. Only void is possible here, because the method doesn't have to return anything back to the JVM. This main method, okay, is it's not required for the main method to return anything back to the JVM. JVM cannot do anything if main method returns something. That's why it's compulsory void. Why it is public? Why the main method is public? So public is a access modifier. I didn't cover the modifiers for you. If it is public, then only JVM can access this method outside the class. Okay. If the main method is public, then only this method can be accessed outside the class. If it is not public, if it is private, it is restricted to the class. Private means restricted. Within the class only we can access the main method. Only the other methods in the class can access this main method. Outside we cannot access generally. Okay. So public means can be accessed outside the class. Static means way of calling. Since object cannot be created by JVM for this class and then access the main method, JVM will simply load the class into the memory and then call this method with the help of class name, because it's a static method. Static methods can be called with the help of class names. They belong to the class memory. Void means JVM, this main method doesn't return anything back to the JVM, hence it should be void. So why all these things are public, static, void for main method as per syntax? Now you got it. Is it clear, guys?
One question, sir. Generally, execution will start from the main method only. What is the use of making it to public? Everything will be started from here only. Why it should be public? If you are calling from other classes, we may require it to be public to access it, but actually execution is starting from here only.
So JVM need to still call this, right? Even the execution, you see what JVM will do is whenever you write a program, okay, if there is no main method inside the class, can you run that code?
Okay.
It's not possible to run the code, right? If the main method is not there. Only if main method is there, you can run the code. But JVM need to call that main method. JVM will search for the main method in this particular code. While searching, if it has to find the main method, it should be of which type? Public. Then only it can access outside. JVM can need to access this method outside the class.
Okay.
Via the class. And this method don't have to return anything to the JVM. That's why all these three keywords. Now able to understand? After I explain public keyword in detail, right, you'll understand more about public. Okay. I didn't cover that yet. Is that fine, or any still confusion is there for you?
No, sir. Fine.
Fine. Okay.
Sir, one doubt is there, sir.
Yeah,
sir,
please.
Sir, this I'm clear with the thing that you told that this static belongs to class and a non-static belongs to object. Okay.
Yes.
And so since non-static belongs to object, we know that it's basically like go into the heap, and so that I know. Since the static belongs to class, and so where it will be actually going, sir? The class means where in class? Because in memory wise, the non-static is going to heap, and that is
don't worry about that concepts. You know, heap memories and all other memories. Yeah, objects will be created in heap memories and all those stuff are there, right? So don't worry about that memory management stuff now. Okay, so that will confuse us a lot. So let's leave it. Okay, let's. That's very, we are going very deep into that. Okay, that much is not required, but maybe for your knowledge purpose, you can explore that by yourself. Okay. So, but
Okay.
for memory management wise, yeah, stack memory is the right answer, but don't worry about that. Okay.
Okay,
Fine.
sir. Okay.
There a lot of things are there. Okay. Let's not worry about that. Okay. That's not required actually. Okay. But if your knowledge purpose, you can explore. Okay.
Yeah, actually, I noted this. Like, I was also not knowing, but once they asked me, I told the same answer, like it's belong to object. But they asked me where it will go. That time, only
Okay.
mostly I will note down as someone will ask the question, right? So
Fine,
I
fine,
came
fine.
back and I noted down like
Yeah,
that only.
we'll discuss that later. Okay. Once at the end of something, right? You just remind me. We'll go into
Okay.
that concepts. Okay. Memory management
Okay.
stuff. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So let's go with this flow. Fine. Let's later we'll see that things. Okay. Fine. So fine. I'll make a note also if required. I'll do it at the other place because now we are focusing on Selenium, right? So it will distract us. So that's the problem. Something. Let's make a note. I wanted to discuss something actually. So just let me remember that. Keep memory and all those stuff, right? Keep memory and stack memory stuff. Okay, I'll cover later. Yeah, we'll discuss a lot, guys. This is beyond trainings. I told you, right? We'll connect often, and even after trainings, also I'll conduct some sessions for you. Okay, this not just things. Sessions will start with the just whatever the timeline I gave. So after this training is done, maybe some weekends or something we are going to connect, and there I'll continue the knowledge sharing things. Okay, that will keep continuing, guys. Okay, just wait for that sessions. Okay, fine. We'll discuss a lot of things apart from whatever I'm covering here. Okay, interesting things we'll cover every. That I will do for sure. Okay, fine. Anyhow, so let's move back to this part. So here, one thing you try to understand is if you want to access some instance variables with the help of object reference, you have to call them instance variables or instance methods. But if you want to access the static variables and static methods directly with the help of class name, you can access it. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So what else is left out? What else is left out? I remembered something. I wanted to explain something. Yeah, someone is asking about JVM, right? Someone is asking about JVM. And other question I got is how many types of variables are there? Okay. Someone is asking about JV. What is JVM and all? I'll cover that. Okay. And these are additional topics, guys. These are additional topics. And other thing is variable types. First, I'll cover variable types. So till now, how many types are there in variables? One is type your in the chat box. Till now, two types we thought. I say four types. I say four types. What are the four types? One is local variable. Other one is global variable. And what are the other two types I can segregate the variables as? Other way of segregating. Again, these global variables can be categorized as. These global variables can be again categorized as what? Instance variable. Instance variable is also a global variable. But it belongs to which memory? Object memory. Whereas other one is static variable. Belongs to which memory? Class memory. Okay. Local variables, global variables, instance variables, static variables. Total types how many? Four. Four types we have to remember. Okay. We have to remember four types. Okay. Whenever we talk about differentiating the variables, we can say that there are four types we can, differentiate the variables. One is local variables, which local variables are the variables which are created inside the method. Global variables are the variables which are created outside the method. Okay, directly under the class. And coming to the global variables, again, there are two more types. One is instance variable, which belong to the object memory, whereas another one is static global variable, which belongs to the class memory. Okay, clear with the variable types now? Is it clear? Type C in the chat box, guys, if it is clear. Or any doubts, you can ask me out. Great. Great. Now let's move on to the JVM part. So you're asking me about JVM, right? Let me explain about all the things about JVM and all now. So guys, generally we write our Java code in which files? Generally, Java code will be written in which files? Pawan, what is the definition of the local variable you are asking? Variable which is created inside the method is called as a local variable. Okay. Is that fine, Pawan? A variable which is created
Sir.
inside the method.
Sir, sorry, sir. I wanted to ask actually about instance variable as well as static variable definition.
I told you, right, the same thing. Okay. Instance variable belong to the which memory? Object memory. Okay.
Object memory.
Object memory, it is global variable which belong to the object. Okay. Objects.
Yes,
So
sir.
for every
Yes,
object, instance variable will change. You see, every time, don't worry about definitions. Explanation is very important. Okay. Understanding, explaining the understanding of that particular thing is important. Okay. So instance variable is a global variable whose value will differ for every object. So it generally belongs to object memory. Okay. The value of the instance variable will be different for different objects. Okay. Like color is equal to red, color is equal to green. That is instance variable, global variables. Okay. Whereas static variables are the variables which belong to the class memory. Okay. And is a common variable for all the objects. You can say like that. Okay. Like wheels. Wheels is an example, right? That's how you have to understand. Okay. Fine.
Okay.
Fine. Now come back to the JVM part. I'm trying to explain you JVM and complete style so that you will get some knowledge here. So here there is a class, there is a file, guys. Okay. In which file you generally write the Java code .java file, right? Here what you will write? Java code, public static, public class name, public static void main, such kind of code you will write, right? Now, for this particular Java code to run, what will happen is, for this particular Java code to run, what will happen is we have something known as Java compiler. Right or wrong? Is there a Java compiler or not? In Java, do we have a compiler to compile this Java code? Yes, right? There's something known as Java compiler, which will compile this Java code and convert this Java code into which format? Java code will be converted to which format here by the compiler? Which format? Yes, byte. Byte is the correct answer. Byte code. Byte code. Can we understand byte code? Can we understand? You see, if you read this Java code, can you understand? Yes. But can we understand byte code? It will be in some symbols and all. You cannot understand. This byte code will be created inside which file? Which file? Dot class file. You see, whenever you compile a Java file, a file will be created. What is that file? Whenever you compile a .java file, a file will be created. Which file that is? Dot class file. And that dot class file will contain what? Byte code. So how the dot class file will be created? After compiling. After compiling this Java code, Java will convert this Java code into the bytecode and put inside the dot class file. And if there are any errors in this Java code, will the Java compiler will convert that into the bytecode? Is that possible? Compiling will be successful or not? If there is some errors in the Java code. No, you will get compiler errors and dot class files will not be created. Okay, the bytecode will not be successfully created. Compiling will fail, right? That's the problem. So once the entire Java code is written according to the syntax and there are no errors, then only Java compiler will be able to convert the Java code into the bytecode in the dot class file. A dot class file will be created. Fine. Otherwise, we'll get error while compiling. Who can understand this bytecode now? Tell me. Who can understand this bytecode? What is the answer? Someone is saying computer. Someone is saying JVM. JVM. I'm getting a lot of answers like JVM compiler, JVM compiler. Okay. Someone is saying computer, compiler, JVM. 3 answers I got. The answer is JVM, guys. Let's say there is a Windows machine. Okay. There is a machine having Windows operating system. There is another machine having Mac operating system. There is another machine having Linux operating system. Okay. When you download and install Java, a JRE version of the Java or a JRE version of the Java or a JDK version of the Java. Okay. Either a JRE version of the Java or a JDK version, any version of the Java when you install, along with Java, JVM and also will get installed. Do we have to separately install JVM in these machines? Windows machine or Linux machines or Mac machines, do you have to separately install JVMs? No. How JVM will get installed in our machines? When you install Java, automatically JVM will be there. So when you download and install Java, will it ask us to select the operating system and all? We have seen that, right? When we installed Java in our Windows machine, we have selected which variation of the Java, Windows related Java or not. Yes, right? So JVM related to Windows machine will be installed in that case. When you try to install Java in the form of JRE variation of JDK variation, okay, JVM related to that Mac machine will be installed. Java related to Mac machine, when you install, along with that JVM for Mac machine will come. And when you install JRE or JDK variation of Java for Linux machine, JVM related to Linux machine will come. Right or wrong? Yes, right? JVM stands for Java Virtual Machine, guys. JVM full form is Java Virtual Machine. Who can understand the bytecode? Who can understand the bytecode? JVM. Now this bytecode will be given to the JVM. This bytecode will be given to the JVM. This bytecode will be given to the JVM. Now JVM will convert this bytecode into what? JVM will understand the bytecode and convert to what? In order to run this Java code, in order for this Java code to run on these particular machines, Java code will be first compiled and converted to bytecode, and bytecode will be given to JVM. And now JVM has to convert this bytecode to what type of code? As JVM understands it, it will convert the bytecode into which code? Native machine understandable code. Native machine level code, native machine understandable. That will be 1 0 zeros, ones kind of thing. What machines can understand generally? Machine code is nothing but ones and zeros.
Is 0 and 1, right? So
Yeah, what is
bytecode
that?
is also 0.
No,
So
no, no.
bytecode is also
Bytecode is not 0 1. Bytecode is not 0 1s. Try to open a dot class file and see that it will not be 0 1s. Okay. If I
Okay,
go
sir.
here to one of these properties, I'll show you the dot class file. Let's go to the project location. This is a project. Go inside the project. Here SRC is there. I'll go into one of the things like some variables or something is there. This is a Java file. So under SRC, under variables, we have variables demo. For this .java, when it is compiled, here in the bin folder of this project, again the same variables, a dot class file is created or not. After compiling for that Java file, a dot class file got created or not? Created. Let me open this. Right click, open with some notepad. Are there zeros ones? This is what is a bytecode that JVM can understand. Do you see ones and zeros?
No, sir.
Right? This is a bytecode. Bytecode will not be in zeros ones. This bytecode, who can understand? This Java code, once compiled, got converted to the bytecode. This bytecode, who will understand? JVM. JVM will understand the bytecode, and JVM will convert this bytecode into which code? Native machine understandable code, that will be zeros and ones. Generally, machine code will be in ones and zeros. Okay, here. So JVM related to Windows machine can convert the bytecode into the Windows and machine understandable, but machine level code. Okay. Similarly, JVM related to Mac machine will convert the bytecode into the Mac machine understandable zeros and ones machine level code. And JVM related to Linux machine will convert the bytecode into the machine level code that can be understood by which machine? Here machine level code understood by which machine? Windows machine. This JVM will convert the bytecode from to machine level code which can be understood by which machine? Mac machine. This JVM will convert the bytecode, understand the bytecode, and can convert it to machine level code which can be understood by which machine? Linux machine. Able to understand this concept, guys? How Java has become platform independent then? Guys, how Java, what is the reason in Java? What actually in Java makes Java a platform independent programming language? Everyone know about this, right? Java is a platform independent programming language. What makes Java a platform independent programming language? If you have to straightforwardly answer, what makes Java a platform independent? Tell me, guys, what's the answer? JVM. JVM makes Java a platform independent programming language. Okay? Why? Because you write anywhere, you write the code anywhere in Windows machine. For example, this is a Windows machine. You write it in Windows machine and that will get converted to bytecode. Bytecode can be understood by JVM of Windows machine. This bytecode can be understood by JVM of Mac machine. The same bytecode can be understood by the JVM of Linux machine. So these JVMs will be responsible for understanding the bytecode, which can be written in any machine and can convert that into the machine level code, can be understood by Windows machine or Mac machine or Linux machine. Write once, run anywhere. Now, is the JVM making the Java a platform independent programming language or not? Yes or no? Because of this concept. Right? Right, correct. But one more thing. How JVM will convert this bytecode into the machine level code? How can the JVM, how the JVM convert the bytecode into native machine level code? Yes, there is, as Shivakumar is saying, there is the JVM will contain a part known as interpreter. There will be something known as interpretation. So line by line of the bytecode will be read by JVM, and that line by line will be converted to the machine code. Will that be slow process or not? If a line by line thing is being, if interpreter is there, that interpreter will read line by line of the bytecode and convert to the machine level code. Will that be slow or speed? Interpreter will be slow or speed? Line by line means if lakhs of lines are there, it will be slow, right? So what the JVM will do is, along with the interpreter, there will be one more one more part in JVM that is called as JIT. Anyone know about JIT? Just in time compiler or compilation. Just in time. Along with the JVM, we have interpreter and JIT. JIT, what it does is, like interpreter will read line by line, right? Yes, just in time compiler or compilation. Okay. JIT, what it will do is, it will try to identify some predefined patterns. It will be able to understand some bytecode in some patterns. If it can understand that particular pattern, that dynamically JIT will convert that into machine code in a faster way. Along with the interpreter, JVM will also have JIT, which will scan this particular code and identify the patterns in the code, and most of the portions of the bytecode will be dynamically converted to the machine level code within less time by JIT. So here interpreter will read line by line, and JIT will do a scanning of the code and identify the patterns that can be immediately converted to the machine level code without without the need of interpreter. And by the combination of these two, JVM will convert this bytecode into the native machine level code in a faster manner. That's why Java performance is dependent on JIT, guys. Okay, because of the JIT only, the speed of the execution is happening in Java. Java is fast because of JIT. Okay, clear with the concepts, guys? JVM, JIT, bytecode, native machine code, Java compiler, Java, all these things are clear. Okay, these are extra stuff only I'm covering. And there is one more thing I'll cover now. That is, we know Java. Java, I'm saying, will come in two variations. What are the two variations of Java? I can download Java in two ways. One is JRE, JDK, right? Let's come from there. One is JRE, other one is JDK. One is JRE, another one is JDK. Okay, Java comes in two variations. Either can download the JRE variation of Java, or I can download the JDK variation of the Java. When I have to download the JRE variation of the Java, and when I have to download the JDK variation of the Java? Tell me, guys. When I have to download the JRE variation of the Java, and when I have to download the JDK variation of the Java? So if you are a normal user, let's say JRE variation I'm talking. If you are a normal user, normal end user, and you have a particular software, some XYZ software is there with you, and that particular software, if you install without Java, this software is not going to run. This software will run on the top of Java. In that case, for this particular software to run, do I need the JRE variation of the Java or JDK variation of the Java? JRE will be enough, right? Here in JRE, development tools will not be there. No development tools. No development tools for developers will not be there in JRE. JRE is simply a Java variation just for installing in our machine so that we can run the Java programs only. Okay, we can run the softwares which run on top of Java, or we can run the Java programs. But can we create the Java code? No. With JRE, we cannot create the Java code, but we can run the Java code. And we can only run the softwares which are running on top. Whenever a normal user is there who want to run some software, that software will run only on top of Java. In such cases, this normal user is not a developer. In that case, in that particular machine, a JRE variation of the Java will be downloaded by this user to run this particular software. For example, Eclipse IDE is a software. If you want to use Eclipse IDE, we need Java. Okay. So either you can take JRE also, it will run, or JDK also, it will run. Fine. But if you don't want to write any code in Eclipse IDE, then JRE will be enough. Okay, like that. But when we need JDK, when we want to develop something, develop Java code. If you want to develop Java code, then JRE will not be enough. Okay, because JDK is nothing but JRE plus JRE is nothing but JRE plus development tools. What will come in development tools? Java compiler will come, debugging tools will come, some other utilities for developing the code will come. Okay, that will come in development tools. So who will generally download the JDK variation? Java developers or automation engineers or whatever. Who are the people who want to write the Java code with the Java? They have to go with JDK. And who don't have to write the Java code and they just want to run the Java programs or run some software which are dependent on Java, have to go with JRE. Right? So then JVM is part of which one? JVM is part of which one? JRE. Inside the JRE, what will be there? Inside JRE, what will be there, guys? JVM will be there. Inside JRE, JVM will be there. JVM is a part of JRE. Okay. In JDK also we have JRE. In JDK also we have JRE. In that JRE, we have this JVM. Okay. In JDK is equal to JRE plus development tools, right? In that JRE, we have JVM. Here, normal JRE also has JVM. Then inside this JVM, what is there? Inside this JVM, what is there? Interpreter and JIT will be there. JIT. Some people will be asking you questions like, what is the relation between JRE, JDK, JVM, JIT, like that they will be asking. You should not get confused. Okay, this is what is the criteria. Okay, if you understand all these things, right, you will understand. Java will contain JRE, JDK. In JRE, we have JVM. Okay, in JVM, we have JIT. And if you have to draw in a different way, I can draw like this. Okay, let's say this is JDK. Let's assume that this is JDK. In the JDK, what will be there? Two parts will be there. One is JRE, one is development tools. Okay, one is JRE, other one is what? Development tools. Development tools. What are the development tools we have? One is Java compiler. Is one thing will come with the development tool. Without compiling, we cannot. After writing, we have to compile to run the Java code, right? So Java compiler will be there, and debugging tools will be there, and utilities will be there. Utilities will be there. Some other utilities will be there in development tools. In JRE, what will be there? In JRE, one of the part in JRE will be what? JVM. Okay. In JRE, we have JVM as one of the part. In JVM, what will be there? One of the part of JVM is interpreter, and other one is, JIT. Okay, JIT and interpreter will be JVM. Clear, guys? Clear with all these concepts? Guys, everyone clear with this JVM, JRE, JDK, JIT, Java compiler? Everything is clear for you. Okay, these are the basic concepts, guys. Okay, I didn't cover that. Maybe I thought like people are asking me the questions, I thought of clearing it out. Okay, so if you understand this level, you can answer anything. In interviews, they will ask you like in different ways. What is JDK? What is JRE? What is JVM? Okay, then what is JIT? They keep confusing you. So try to answer in your own way after your understanding of all these concepts here. Okay, fine. Any questions? Any questions, guys? From today's session, do you have any questions? Anyone have any other questions from today's session? So I explained about static keyword, and today static keyword I covered, and how to call static variables, static methods, non instance variables and instance methods outside the class, right? Within the class, do I need to create an object or do I have to make the method static? You see, to access some variable or method outside the class, I have to either make that particular, I have to create an object for the class and access that particular variable or method. But other way is like I have to make it static. I have to make that particular variable or method static, and with the help of class name, I have to access that particular variable or method outside the class. But within the class, do you have to create an object or do you have to create a method as or variable as static in order to access within the class? Is it required? Within the class, not required. Outside the class only, all these things comes into picture. Within the class, you can directly call the method, right? You can directly call the method. You don't have to create an object. Okay. Within the class, you don't have to create an object. Outside the class only, you need to create an object to access the members of the class. Members of the class means variables and methods. Outside the class only, you have to make that variables or methods static, so that with the help of class name, you can access them. Okay. Either using the class name or by creating an object, you can access the members of the class. That's mainly the concept. This concept, if you understand right, you will be good in Java, guys. Okay. Remaining all are fine. This is the main object-oriented concepts you need to understand. Okay. That's why I took a lot of time to cover all this stuff. Okay, fine. So any more questions, guys? Any other questions? So the plan here is we are left out with overloading, inheritance, overriding concepts. And after that, we have to go with the modifiers and interfaces. This is another important topic, modifiers. Once we are done with modifiers, we'll start with Selenium automation. Okay. There are other concepts of Java left out that I'll cover later. Okay. But the next topic will be modifiers and interfaces. Okay. Overloading, overriding, inheritance, modifiers, and interfaces. After this is done, we are going to get started with Selenium automation. Okay. That's the plan. Yeah. Welcome, Rahim. Yeah, Nagveni is asking me whether we have an holiday on Monday. Yes, here in India, we have the Sankranti festival. So because of the festival, on Monday, we will not have any class. Okay. That is, we have a weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and followed by Monday. As you can see here, today in India is 12th, right? 13, 14, 15 are holidays. So people who have joined late in my batch, right, they will get sufficient time in going through my previous or earlier recordings. Okay. They can go through my earlier recordings of starting from session 11, recording number 11 onwards till today's date. Okay. They can revise once. 11 to I think 21, I guess. Okay. Almost 10 to 11 sessions are there. You are getting 3 days of time. Don't waste the time, guys. On Tuesday, we'll go with other concepts and continue, guys. Okay. I want everyone who has joined in between my classes. Okay. I want everyone who has joined in between my classes to revise my previous and do all the assignments, okay, in this 3 times. Anyone have not completed assignments from the first session onwards, try to complete the assignments, guys, okay? If you have attended all my sessions, try to complete the assignments in these 3 days. Be on track. That's what I can say. And on 16th, and also post your status of the assignments. If you complete the assignments, post it in the WhatsApp group, guys, okay? A separate WhatsApp group is there, right? Post your status, completed assignment for so and so day, like that, okay? So everyone, if you type that, other people will get motivated and all, okay? They will also try to complete, okay? This many people are completing, I also will complete, okay? So make sure you post it from your side. I completed today's assignment, that particular day assignment, like keep posting, okay? Make that group active. Fine. And yeah, 3 days, next 3 days, no class because of weekend and followed by Sankranti. Will not have any class, guys. Okay, next 3 days. Fine. Gaurav, check with Javed. He will help you in joining that WhatsApp group. Okay. Gaurav, check with Javed. Fine. Great. Ask Javed to join in that particular WhatsApp group. Okay, he has access. He is the one who is the admin of that group. Okay, fine. Anyhow, so what else I want to say here? Yeah, any other questions, guys? Any other questions? So I'll share this code now. Right click, properties. Just meanwhile, I share this code. You guys can ask me any questions. Any questions? Ramin, I think your name is Ramin, right? I'm saying Rahim actually. So Ramin, just be there, okay? If everyone leaves, also be there in this meeting. I would like to talk to you, okay? Fine. Any other people have any questions? If you don't have any questions, you can leave for today, guys. Okay. Other people, if you don't have any questions, you can leave for today. I'll share the code as usual.
Sir, at the end, can you cover collections framework also, sir?
Yeah, that will be there. That will be there. Okay. So my way is different. You see, next session 9 will be automation scripts, and after that, somewhere it will come. Selenium WebDriver commands. Then I have to cover arrays, strings, wrapper classes, exception handling mechanism. Then I have to cover packages, handling files, collections framework. Okay.
Yes.
So that is there. But I want to cover some portion of Java, then Selenium automation, then other portion of Java, then go to the required. Before going to the required items, I'm going to cover that. Okay.
Okay. Sir.
Don't worry, everything will be covered for you. Okay.
Yes. Thank you.
So fine.
I don't know, one doubt.
Yeah, please.
To access the class variables, there is no need to create object, right?
If you make it static, then there is no need to create an object.
Okay.
Within the class, you are saying outside the class.
Outside the class.
Outside the class, compulsory, there are 2 ways. To access the variables outside the class, one way is to create an object for that particular class, or you have to make that variable static. If you make that variable static, no need to create an object because with the help of class name, you can access. Okay?
Okay.
That's the way.
Thank you.
There are only 2 ways. This ways, if you remember right, you are good with Java. Okay? Because a lot of people come confused with static keyword. Why static key? What's happening and all. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Any other questions? Okay, great. If you don't have anything, you guys can leave, guys, okay? Except Ramin, everyone can leave. Ramin is new to this, so I would like to talk to him. Remaining all people, I want to leave. AB, Mahesh, Pawan, please leave. Yeah. Ramin, just give me a second. So what we generally do every day is like, after I explain all this stuff, right? I generally, share the code. Okay. I'll just push the code into the GitHub repo and share the code from there. Okay. So you can see the process. You don't have to understand this. I'll cover that later. But I just generally do this. Okay.
Okay.
So that the code, the project code, whatever I covered on that day will be shared with everyone on a daily
All right.
basis.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So just give me a second. I'll just comment this. Today I covered what? Static, more about static, right? Keyword. And JVM, JRE, JDK, JIT, etc. I covered. Yeah, completed this one, and I'll give the assignments also generally. You can see the process, what I do every day. I'll come to this, and we have the group, right? You are also part of this group. So yeah, here what I do is the notes I share first. Okay, whatever the notes have used on that particular day, right? That notes, okay, I'll share first. But that's the same notes actually. I'm using the same notes from last few days. Okay.
Okay.
You can see today's notes. Okay, where is the notes? Day before yesterday notes. Day before yesterday. It's okay. Just go here. It has classes, methods, variables. Okay. Before yesterday shared notes. Okay. So these are the notes. Let me open here and see whether the notes are same. Yeah, these are the notes, right? Same notes. Okay.
Okay. So should I download that application that you're using, or it doesn't matter? You can use the browser.
I didn't get that. What is the question?
So should I download the application that you're using? One is the Xmind, I think the other one is actually I already have it, Evernote. So should I download the application for these notes, or I don't have? Just I click on the.
No need to download the application. You directly can access.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Okay. No need to download. Okay. So the
Got
same
it.
notes I'm sharing again so that you can directly click the link, it will open. Okay. When you click the
Great.
link, right, it will open. Okay. The public note, public links. You don't have to download Evernote. Okay. Evernote
Okay.
and Xmind software also, you don't need that.
Okay.
I only
Got
use it for, for explanation purpose and, for document sharing purpose. Okay. And then afterwards, after sharing the notes every day, I share the code that I covered on that day, the project code. Just now I uploaded that to GitHub repo, right? That GitHub repo, how I uploaded, I'll explain later. But hope you have some idea about GitHub.
I do have, yeah, I work with that.
Okay, fine. So here is the code I placed. Okay. So so in this, whatever the things I covered, right, I'll go inside that particular folder of this cloud repo. And today what I covered, static and static again, right? So static demo and static again. These two things are the important ones. You can see that 2 days last week, 4 days, 2 days, 3 days last week, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. These two things. So what I'll do here is I'll just give this link. Simple. I'll just simply say every day today's code. I'll just paste this, and then I'll write some letter in the above. Check the folders like this. I'll write. Okay.
Okay.
In the above, check which folders. One is this folder. One folder is static demo, and other one is static again. These two things I covered, right? In this, the code will be there.
Okay.
Static demo and other one is static again. Okay. So if people want to really see the code, right, what they will do is they will get these links, right? So this link they have now from the Telegram, they will open and they will go inside the static demo folder. In that you see whatever the examples I covered, right? They are there here. The code is available here. You can copy from here, or you can download this file, or you can download this entire project. Okay, from here. And download this entire project and zip file and extract and also check it. That's up to you. Okay.
Done.
Fine.
Okay.
That's way I cover. I just share the code every day. And the next part is that is about the assignments. Then I start giving the assignments in the same Telegram group every day. So today's
Okay.
assignments will be something like this. Okay. Assignment 1. It will be very simple. Create a bank class with some static and instance variables and methods. Okay.
Okay.
Access them outside the class. Okay. Access them outside the class.
Okay.
Fine. That you can understand, right? What's the concepts and all. Okay. So that's the main thing, right? So how to access the static and instance variables and methods outside the class. That's the main important point that I covered today. Any other thing I covered today, that's the main thing. Remaining other things are theory like JVM, JRE and all. I don't have to, okay, to give an assignment for that. This will, this will be good. Fine.
Okay. So whenever we complete the assignment, should we share and again
It's not compulsory that you have to come before me and show it to me. If you have any doubts, you can check with me. And if you have successfully completed, right, then you can post in the WhatsApp group. Okay.
Okay.
There's a WhatsApp group, batch 1 with the name and all. Okay. In that WhatsApp, I think you have been added there, right, by Javed, the WhatsApp
Got
group.
it.
Right. In that you say today's assignment completed. That's it. Okay.
I got it. Okay.
And also I have shared a lot of assignments earlier. You say assignment 1, assignment. You can go back actually. I told you, right? From session 11 onwards, you have to cover for you. Okay. So
Okay.
just go back to the videos because, you have joined a bit late, right? In the batches. So if you have any doubts, you can check back with me and all those stuff. Okay. Day 10,
Okay.
don't worry about the day 10. So from day 11 onwards. Okay. From here. Day
Okay.
11. Okay. Today, this is on December 28, you can see. On December
So
28.
all topic was about the Java, or you guys
Yeah,
already
this day 11 onwards, Java started actually. Okay. Only Java you focus on. Other things you don't have to focus. Okay.
Okay.
If you're already good with Java, right, just have you can watch all these videos in 2x speed or something like that and, try to complete. Just refer that once and see if you're able to do the assignments. Okay. Then that is good. Okay. Day
Okay.
12, day 13, like that. Today's recording also I'll share in a while. After this assignment, what I do every day is that I'll try to upload the recording. Okay. You see,
Oh, got it.
recording for today's session will be uploaded soon here. Okay. I'll just, this thing I'll do generally every day. Okay. Recording for today's session will be uploaded soon here. I'll say maybe in 1 or 2 or 3 hours, right? The recording will be uploaded. You have three days of time now because class is not there for next 3 days because of the holiday, right? Weekends
Okay.
are there and holidays also there for Indian holiday. Okay. So this day 20 recording, right? Day 21 recording, I'll say here. Okay. I'll post
Okay.
it today. Okay. So once you get the recording, you can also watch it also. Okay. So from 11 to 21 anyhow you attended. If you understood, that's fine. Or if you want to revise, you can again watch. From day 11 you start. Okay. Revising.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the plan. So you got all the idea, right? What's happening in the class and all those stuff. Okay.
I got it.
Class
Yeah.
wise. Yeah. I'll stop the recording.